Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name's Deborah, aka the Sunset Girl Creates. If you're new to the channel, welcome back. If you're new for the first time, I hope you enjoy it. Enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see, let me know down in the comments. I'm looking for different things in comments now, so if there's something that I ask, I'll be asking a question periodically throughout the video to see what everybody's thinking in the comments. What fun would that be? I'm going to be doing similar to some of the other channels every once in a while. Once a week or twice a week, I'm going to throw in a true crime story. It's not going to be an everyday thing, but I do want to do it once in a while. I do enjoy my true crime. I read true crime, watch true crime. To me, I don't know, there's a fascination. I like the plot twists. I like to just watch and listen to what people say and do. You know, there's some crazy people out in this world. Yep, there are crazy people. I am one that's not crazy, but I enjoy reading about those crazy people, whether I'm reading it or watching it. I watch Stitcherista a lot because she does true crime almost every day of some kind. I really enjoy her videos. Check her out if you're interested in more true crime. Just a quick update of what's going on today with and this week with me. My husband and I are still working on our diets, trying to get healthy. We went shopping yesterday, found a bunch of groceries. I got a pork loin. We're going to make some pork stir fry. We're also going to make pork verde, which is one of my favorites. I love it. Takes a long time to make it, but it is well worth it. It's like I stew the meat in the verde sauce for about 6 to 7 hours on a pan and I probably will put it into the crock pot today, or when I make it, I'll probably put it into the crock pot, and I'll put it in the crock pot in the evening. So that it's ready by about noon the next day, because we're starting to eat our big meal midday. I know, the more I talk about this, the older I feel. I'm only 53, but because of our health issues, we really need to keep our weight under control, especially my health issues, fibromyalgia. If you weigh more, the more you weigh, the more pain you have. So I'm trying to keep my weights down, as well as want to prevent bringing the diabetes back. So it's really important for me to do what I can to keep my weight down. When my weight goes up, my sugar levels go up, so I know to watch those things. Other than that, we went shopping. We sat in the backyard. It was cloudy and overcast yesterday, so my husband got to mow the lawn for the first time since we had that tree removed. So now my backyard lawn is nice and cut. And we're just waiting for the next big rain to start, because rainy season's getting ready to start here in Florida. Rainy season and hurricane season. The only time I probably will not do videos is when there's a hurricane, because obviously no power. If I do have power, I'll do videos, keep you guys up to date. First storm we go through, I'll make sure you guys have a first eye view of it. I love storms. Storms I don't like the devastation that comes behind the storms, but weather fascinates me. National disasters. So I grew up in California most of my life, and so we had in California, we dealt with earthquakes. In Northern California, where I grew up and went to school and raised my children, in Chico, California, there's not a whole lot of issues you have to worry about earthquakes. You have to worry more about fires up in Northern California. The Camp Fire that happened, 4 years now? 3 or 4 years ago now? That devastated Paradise, California, which is just 10 miles up the hill from my hometown. So a lot of my friends and family did go without a home at the end of that, as they lost everything in Paradise. So I've dealt with a lot of natural disasters in my life. Never anything that I had to physically deal with to get out of or to survive. We went through Hurricane Irma. We stayed in our house. We did not evacuate. We do have a retaining pond behind our house, which allows us to keep some of the flooding down. So we usually don't get flooded much. We do have to ensure that our driveway stays water-free. It's really the only thing we need to worry about. Our driveway and our front porch. And we do that when the storms are here. You'll hear all about all this when the storms get here. So we're getting ready to start. So we're getting ready for storm season. And there's really not a whole lot else going on here this week. I am going to do a true crime story. So I am going to read that. Why we're diamond painting today. Our true crime story that we're going to be reading is Ed and Minnie Moran, the murders of an elderly couple by the Rifle brothers, Rick and John. So let's see. And I'm getting these from thecriminaljournal.com. So I'm going in, there's a lot of different stories, so we'll work with this website until we run out of stories. So this will be our true crime number 1. And so Ed and Minnie Moran, also known as Edward and Wilima Moran, were a married couple who were robbed, abducted, murdered by the Rifle brothers, Rick and John. Their bodies were found in a wooded area in Chehalis, Washington. And I'm actually going to move my iPad so that I can diamond paint and read at the same time. So hopefully you won't see my iPad up here. I'm just going to slide it in here. And that way I can see the iPad at the same time as diamond painting. So on December 19th, 1985, a Christmas party was supposed to be held at the Martins' home. But when family and friends arrived, Ed, 81, Minnie, 83, weren't there to answer the door. So, well, we already know that they're probably gone by now then, huh? Their family and friends began to worry, so they contacted the Lewis County Sheriff's Department and reported Ed and Minnie Maroon missing. The following day, police officials discovered their vehicle in the Yardbird Mall parking lot. ABC's News reported that police found a large amount of bloodstains in the vehicle and the keys were discovered in the ignition, but Ed and Minnie were nowhere to be found. It was later uncovered that a week before Ed and Minnie disappeared, they withdrew $8,500 from their account and told bank officials that they were going to use the money to purchase a new vehicle. So now they're getting ready. They were going to purchase a vehicle. Relatives told the Spokane Chronicle in 1985 that Ed did not have any plans of replacing his 16-year-old car as it had been running well. On the morning of December 24th, 1985, Ed and Minnie Marin were found dead. A man driving through a wooded area in Stearns Hill Road near Adna had discovered their bodies near the end of a roadway. Yeah. So they were just discarded. I mean, how can people just discard bodies? I just don't understand that. How can you just kill somebody and then leave their bodies on the side of the road? Those are questions I always have on my mind, is why did you kill this person? Sometimes we find out, sometimes we don't. An autopsy performed by Lewis County Coroner Terry Wilson revealed that Ed and Minnie died from a shotgun wound to their backs. The Rifle brothers were suspected of murdering the couple, but due to a lack of evidence and witnesses, police officials weren't able to make arrest, and according to the Lewiston Tribune. 26 years after the Marin murders, Lewis County Sheriff Steve Mansfield said their investigation was complete, with additional evidence and witnesses came forward to collaborate and provide more information. So it took 26 years to get all the information to figure out this murder. Authorities finally had enough evidence to arrest the Rifle brothers for the murders of Ed and Minnie Marin. On July 8, 2012, officials with the Lewis County Sheriff's Office bought a plane ticket to King Solomon, Alaska, where the Rifles brothers moved to in 1987. When they arrived, they learned that John Rifle died of natural causes a week prior. So he died the week before he was arrested. Wow. So he literally got to live out his life without any punishment. You know, that just sickens me to my stomach that these people get away with murder, and they get away with it for long, and then they die, and they go away, and they murdered somebody, and they never were punished for it. It's super sad to see people going unpunished for crimes they committed. And I know that with DNA and the different forensics that are out there now, we catch more criminals now than we did in the past. So that means more people are being arrested, more people are being caught and prosecuted for the crimes they've done. So, you know, it's always good when we get a criminal off the street, right? Because I'd rather see a murderer behind bars than to have them just roaming the streets because there's not enough evidence to convict them and wait for them to do that again. So Rick Rifle, who was 53 at the time, was arrested and extradited back to Lewis County to stand trial. While in Alaska, Rick worked as a truck driver and a crane operator for 15 years. When his co-worker found out about the murder charge, he was stunned, as he considered Rick a regular, hard-working guy. Well, yeah, because now they don't want to be caught for the murder, so when they got to Alaska, they changed their lives. They're not murdering anymore. They became a normal person. People don't know who they are. How do criminals get away with it for as long as they do? I believe it's the criminals that can keep their mouths shut. If you can't be quiet when you commit a crime, you shouldn't be committing that crime, because you're gonna get caught. Because everybody tells somebody something. And unless you can keep that to a secret, to yourself, and keep it to yourself, and what you've done, you'll get away with it. And that to me is one of the hardest, scariest things that we can think of. Is these people, they go on to live normal lives, and you don't know that they may be somebody who killed somebody, and they could be living right next door to you. You don't know. You don't know when new people move in your neighborhood, what they're going to be like. We just had 2 new neighbors move in. Fortunately, I think we're okay on our right side. Our neighbor on the right side, they're brand new. They've been in here for a couple months. They've done some repairs to their house, which makes it look good, raises our property values as well. And he's a disabled Marine. So I feel pretty comfortable with the fact that he's a disabled Marine, just because, you know, he's an honorable man. I don't feel like I'm going to get robbed the next day. We've had drug dealers move in next door, and we actually had to do an undercover investigation with undercover cops and everything to get them out of our neighborhood. But we were able to succeed. We had one of the gentlemen that lived here at the time when we were dealing with that worked for the county and worked high up in the county. He was like a director of some kind in the child protective thing. So he was able to help us by getting hold of the mayor and kind of pushing through to get this investigation through. But yeah, it took us about 3 weeks, but we were able to get the drug dealers out of our neighborhood. We were really thrilled to have that happen, because we have kids in the neighborhood and we don't want to. So, you know, we've dealt with our own things. So it does scare me a little bit that people may move in that aren't a regular hardworking guy. You know, we have somebody redoing the house next door, so we don't know who's moving in yet. They just recently bought it. So we're waiting on that one. So I'll keep you guys up to date on the new neighbors. So, a police investigation revealed about a week before Christmas in 1985, the Rifle brothers entered the Marin's home and held the couple hostage before forcing them to drive to their local bank and withdraw money. Rick and John Rifle shot the couple inside their vehicles, then dragged their body to a wooded area. The brothers were walking free for nearly 3 decades before more witnesses came forward, but they were initially reluctant. They feared that Rick and John, who were purportedly well-known drug dealers in the area, would retaliate if they spoke out. So here you go. They're drug dealers, they need money. So now we kind of have an idea of what the motive is for this, right? They're drug dealers, they need money. They don't need money, they want money. You know, drug dealers always, that's what they're out to get is money. I thought it was done with this color and I just saw a bunch more. I was getting ready to put it away. I'll pull it back out. They would retaliate if they spoke out. So you really don't want to be retaliated against. That's kind of scary too, isn't it? So, I mean, I can see why you would not want to step forward. During the trial, a woman named Deborah George said she and Rick formed an intimate online relationship in 2010 after he sent her a friend request on Facebook. That account was shared with her husband, Leslie George, who knew the Rifle brothers in the 80s and did drugs with them, according to his testimony. So here's somebody who actually did drugs with the Rifle brothers. So, you know, that's probably not good. Leslie stated that in 1984 he let Rick and John borrow a shotgun. When they returned in 1986, he said the barrel had been sawed off. Prior to that, Leslie recalled driving past the Marin's house and telling the brothers that they were likely had a lot of money. So whoever this person is actually pointed this couple out to these drug dealers as they were driving the neighborhood. So they knew that they had money. He went on to say that he did not approve of his wife accepting Rick's friend request, but she did it anyways. Deborah told the jury that she was curious about Rifle because of the rumors she heard about him being involved in the Moran homicides. During the year-long romance, Deborah claimed that he told her details of the murder, but she was afraid to go to the police with what she knew. A computer forensic experts examined Rick and Deborah's computers and confirmed that there were regular contact between the two and it appeared to be an intimate relationship. So, Donald Burgess, a former drug dealer who had drug-related relationships with Rick, was the 76th witness. That was a lot of witnesses. Not a whole lot of trials have 76 witnesses. O.J. Simpson reminds me of a big trial like that. Police questioned him throughout the years, but he claimed he knew nothing about the murders. Burgess testified that he was afraid to come forward because Rick threatened his life. He said, "I was scared. I was scared for my family and my kids. I didn't want to end up the way the Morens did." After the murders, Burgess and Rick and John went to his house boasting about how they are going to get away with it. Many Morens surviving children read the following statement in court. Get these three. This will never be forgotten for generations to come. How could anyone be so cruel and act with such malice to shoot two elderly, trusting people in the back and dump them in the forest? Yeah. That's heinous. Is that not heinous? I would think it's heinous. Before Minnie was interred, her son, Dennis Hadler, placed his hand on her casket and promised her that he would get justice for her murder. On November 11, 2013, a jury deliberated for a day and a half before finding Rick Rifle guilty of 7 felony counts, including murder, kidnapping, robbery, and burglary. So now they didn't get away with it. His brother did. And he's going to be punished, though. He's going to take all the punishment because his brother died before he did. That took a big load off my shoulders because I made that promise, and I was getting worried as I got older that maybe I was going to fail, Hadler said. But I had strong support from the prosecutor's office and the sheriff's office, and we were able to get a conviction. The following month, Rick Rifle was sentenced to Lewis County Superior Court to 103 years in prison in the murders of Ed and Minnie Moran. Rick maintains his innocence. He told his attorney that he is not remorseful or apologetic for something he did not do. Okay, so looks like we finished that. And it's the Rife brothers, not the Rifle. Somehow I put an L in there. Okay, so that's our story for today. The Rife story. The Rife brothers, Rick and John. And they murdered Ed and Minnie Maroon. So they were going because they were drug dealers and they wanted money. So they were out to get the money. What are we going to do? We're going to steal the money. We're going to kidnap them. We're going to make them go to the bank, give us their money, and we're going to kill them and then dump them in the forest. And just remember, just because you don't get caught when you first do the crime, you will someday be caught when forensics catches up with you. With that said, if you're new to my channel and you like what you hear, I would love to have you part of the Sunset Girl Creates family. Please subscribe and hit the bell below so that when I do upload a video, you do get a notification that that video has been uploaded. As well as if you've been here before and you would continue to enjoy my videos, I ask that you subscribe as well. Thank you to the 2 subscribers that I have already. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Sunset Girl Creates family. With that all said, I hope everybody stays wonderful, happy, and healthy, and that you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.